admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Good evening, everybody. How the hell are you on a Saturday night? Oh, man, what a day. We lost the only James Bond. Sean Connery passed at the age of 90. Sir Sean Connery. Hello, Kim. Hello, Alan. And hello in New York to Chris Clanton, the sports guy. Everybody, we hope you've had a great Saturday. Don't forget that at 2 o'clock in the morning, it becomes Benny Hinn Day. That means fall back, fall back, fall back. We lose an hour, which means crap. Hello, Diane, and happy Halloween to everybody. This is my costume tonight. It's been an interesting day. As you can see, I have made a life-altering decision for the time being. And thank you to four people that I value their opinion. And, of course, my two children. And two of them are former television sports guys here in Chattanooga, RS and DP, and I'll leave it at that. But thank you to my children, Amy and Christopher. Thank you for your input. Rusty Parkhill, value your friendship and your advice. But the decision has been made that for the time being, while COVID is growing and growing and growing to record number of cases, record number of hospitalizations, and everyone knows I am one of the most at-risk people. And I've said it on here before, my cardiologist, Dr. Poonam Puri, who that woman has saved my life on a couple of occasions, and I have discussed it with her. And at this point, I am stepping away from all public address announcing duties. Once COVID is over, I have been told once it's over, you'll be welcome back. But I cannot, in good conscience, risk my health to do something that I love so much. So until COVID is over, I will not be doing any public address announcing at sports events of any kind. Thanks, Jay Blackman, and thanks, Ann Wee Hunt, for being so understanding. And the email I got from Jay in response was, when this is all over, you'll be back. That meant more to me than anything you can imagine. Hello, Susan. So that's how I started Halloween Day. I have been mulling this decision now for a few days because basketball season is right around the corner, and we still have people who refuse to wear a mask. and refuse to consider the health and well-being of their fellow man. And that will lead into our newest member of the piece of shit list later tonight. But that's it. The only time you're going to hear my rather bad voice is here. I mean, it's been 15 years and, you know, it hurts like hell to not be a part of it this year. But until COVID is gone, I just can't risk it. You know, I just turned 64. I have outlived all expectations. By all rights, I should have been dead a long time ago. But between the man upstairs and Dr. Puri at Erlanger Cardiology and your prayers, I'm still here. One of these days I'll figure out why the good Lord's let me live this long. But it is what it is. Second, rather depressing thing today. Shit, I thought I had a date and I got stood up. Just because I'm 64 doesn't mean I'm blind and unable to enjoy a little bit of life. But I got stood up, so what the hell? It's not the first time it's happened. It's not the last time it'll ever happen. So, what the hell? But Sean Connery passed away, and if you look, no one has come close to being James Bond since. George Lazenby won. He replaced Sean Connery. One film, one movie, Her Majesty's Secret Service. And it was the Bond that married. Yes. Bond got married in that one. Lazenby married Diana Rigg, who passed away not that long ago. And he was replaced by Roger Moore, who I found he was even worse than Timothy Dalton. He really was. Sean Connery was a man's man. Roger Moore it just wasn't there. And he was replaced by Timothy Dalton. Dalton did a couple of films. Dalton's claim to fame was playing in the movie Flash Gordon. Timothy Dalton was replaced by Pierce Brosnan, who was adequate. He was a lot like Roger Moore, a little bit too hoity-toity to be Bond. The closest they've come to capturing the spirit of Sean Connery is with Daniel Craig, whose final Bond film will be out later this year. Yep, Susan, Sean Connery was, you are talking about Sean Connery, are you not? I know you are. But Daniel Craig is the one that has captured the essence of Sean Connery, and now he's got the one final film later this year, and then he's gone. And I know they have announced the replacement, but it is so inconsequential at this point that it doesn't matter anymore. It really doesn't. Is my brother here? Is my brother here in LJ? He must be, because Susan said, hi, Don. So my brother's out there tonight over in LJ. I had always held out hope that Damian Lewis from Homeland and now Billions and Band of Brothers would be the replacement for Daniel Craig, but he's not. And now he has categorically poo-pooed any possibility of that happening. So, but we lose Sean Connery, Golden Globe winner, Academy Award winner for The Untouchables, which is a damn good movie. Kevin Costner, Andy Garcia, Robert De Niro plays Al Capone, and Kevin Costner is Elliot Ness. If you remember the old TV, if there's anybody out there old enough to remember the old television show, The Untouchables. But rest in peace, Mr. Connery. You lived a damn good life, and you entertained tens of millions of us. And if you think your tribute to Sean Connery is the imitation of him on Saturday Night Live playing Jeopardy, you need to check yourself. Have a little bit of respect, for God's sakes. Okay? And if you don't like that opinion, I don't give a damn. Okay? On the COVID front, everybody knows what's going on. And that was what led to my decision to back away from the microphone for the duration of COVID. And cases are spiking daily. Hospitalizations are spiking daily. And yet, people refuse to wear a freaking mask. Then you have people going before crowds of people spewing the same bullshit. The same bullshit that the reason there are so many, that doctors and hospitals are attributing every death to COVID so they can make more money. And the American Medical Association has come out with a statement that is just spot on. It's all bullshit being used to campaign. I know people who have died from COVID. And if you're over a certain age, the odds of you dying are pretty good. And you hate to put it that way. And then you get idiots that refuse to wear a mask. In fact, tomorrow in Chattanooga, they're having another mask protest, and I think it's going to start at Coolidge Park or down by the aquarium or something. I'm so tempted to go down there, and I did buy new masks today. Pack of 5 made by Hanes. And guess what? There are no skid marks in them. That surprises me. Hanes, the great underwear maker, they're selling masks with no skid marks. Kudos to Hanes. But yeah, a big anti-mask protest tomorrow in downtown Chattanooga. And Your right to not wear a mask ends when it endangers my and my friends' lives. Simply. I have heard horror stories of high school football games last night where stands were packed. Packed. And student sections with no masks jammed in together. Again, kudos to Ridgeland for doing it the right way. And LFO's been doing it the right way. There's one school in Catoosa County that could give a shit less about the safety of any human being, and they just pack them in. And Bradley is doing the same thing, packing them in. But Gordon Lee is on the brink of winning their gazillionth Class A softball championship. Heritage is still alive. Ringgold is fighting to stay alive. Big props to East Ridge for making the playoffs, I think. And Cleveland's in, correct, Alan? I think Cleveland's in the playoffs in Tennessee, which start next week. So kudos to them. Kudos to Coach Tim James and my former stomping grounds at East Ridge for making the playoffs once again. They beat my alma mater last night, Hickson. I think it was 37-34 to secure their playoff spot. Now, what I do have a problem with is the fact that you got Soddy Daisy High School sitting there with a 3-7 record and they made the playoffs. That just... See, originally the TSSAA said they were going to shrink the playoffs, but apparently they changed their damn mind because all the TSSAA cares about is money. I mean, it's similar to what GHSA did when they moved the state football championships away from the Georgia Dome. After it became, they moved it away from the Dome and put it outside at Georgia State. I just wasn't a big fan of that, but they didn't like paying that much for the Dome. That made Georgia unique in this country. Made them unique in having their high school state championships in that dome. And now, does it have the same feeling being at the old Turner Field, which was reconfigured for Georgia State football? Big news, Tennessee didn't lose today. They were a 2-point favorite over Open Date. They won by 1. But Alabama and Mississippi State are on in just a few minutes. But again, the president is going to be in Rome tomorrow if anybody gives a shit. I know, and they're having a Trump parade. I think it starts at 1:30 at the old Outlet Mall on Cloud Springs Road. And it's going to go up 75 and all over Chattanooga and all that, if you want to know. And, of course, the anti-mask protest, 3-0 Alabama. Oh, and Clemson struggled today, so if Alabama can just really annihilate Mississippi State, you'll have a new number 1 team in college football next week, and it'll be the Alabama Crimson Tide. I want a name for the winners in the world. I want a name when I lose. They call Alabama the Crimson Tide. Call me Deacon Blues. Anybody remember where that came from? But the big mask protest downtown tomorrow, if you want to look for it and find out information on it, go to Nougat Radio's Facebook page, and you can pull up the newest inductee to the piece of shit list. Afternoon host on Nougat Radio 92.7, David Toulis, the leader of the anti-mask crowd in this area. In fact, he has filed a suit in Chancery Court, and he has a GoFundMe page to pay his expenses. He didn't hire an attorney. He did it himself, dumbass. Saying that the mask mandates are unconstitutional and not biblical. I thought the Bible said, no, David Toulis isn't. He's not he's been close a couple of times, but that's what he looks like every afternoon, 1 to 3, right before piece of shit inductee Sean Hannity. But 1 to 3 on Nougat Radio 92.7, the laughing stock of Chattanooga, David Toulis, the smartest guy with a bow tie. He is our newest piece of shit list inductee. Take your anti-mask lawsuit and stick it where the sun don't shine, Mr. Toulis. If I recall, the Bible says we are our brother's keeper. And by you filing this lawsuit, which is not going to be heard, you wasted money that your minions, of which there are few, gave you in order to proceed with this. He's trying to raise $22,000 on a GoFundMe page. $22,000 to fight the mask mandates. Now, real quietly today, Governor Lee did extend the authority to have mask mandates until the end of the year. So I fully expect Hamilton County Mayor Jim Coppinger to extend, because we're coming up on the end of the current mask mandate in Hamilton County. So Jim, we went to high school together. Do the right thing. Keep the mask mandate in force in Hamilton County. Do the right thing, Mayor Coppinger. A little bit of a disturbing headline. Chattanooga Times Free Press. As everybody knows, there was an officer-involved shooting yesterday in Chattanooga. And the video is there. And former and very well-respected former Chattanooga Police Chief Fred Fletcher has even weighed in on it. You watch the body cam video. It was a foot chase from Northmore Road to the Circle K at the corner of Shallowford and Northmore. And at that point, the suspect turned and fired several shots at the Chattanooga police officer, who responded, and the guy is no longer inhabiting this planet. And yet, the Times Free Press, in their wisdom, their headline says, Chattanooga police shoot man dead, or something to that effect. Kind of trying to stir something up, are you? Are you trying to stir it up? You look at the video, this shooting's justified. This guy turned and fired multiple shots at a Chattanooga police officer. There was a crash on Northmore Road. The guy jumps out of his car and starts running. Officer chases him on foot, and he's at the Circle K, Shallowford, and Northmore. And now the suspect is taking the dirt nap. So, Times Free Press, you need to do the right thing. But I understand you're trying to sell your fish wrapper, as overpriced as it is. And so you think that that kind of headline will sell more papers. It's kind of like I've always asked the question and nobody can answer it. Why does Chattanoogan.com refuse to report the high school football scores from North Georgia? Ridgeland, Ringgold, LFO, Heritage are all closer to the city of Chattanooga than Bradley and McMinn counties, and yet they report them constantly. But they do not report the North Georgia high school scores. They sent somebody all the way up to Wartburg, Tennessee last night. No, excuse me. I think they sent somebody all the way up to Wartburg last night for the Meigs County game. Wartburg, home of Brushy Mountain State Prison, which is now a tourist attraction. So it is what it is. But don't forget, we're getting ready to wrap it up here. It's Saturday night. It's been a depressing day. First, I have to back away from the microphone. Sean Connery dies, and then I get stood up. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony on me. Don't forget, if you are a horror fan, tune in. My son Chris and Eddie T from over in England. You can find them on Apple Podcasts, Screen Time Horror, all things horror films. Don't forget Big Kahuna and his current incarnation of Chattanooga Live. Go to Charles Dwayne Gass on Facebook. He's got a special Halloween show tonight at 11 p.m. Nobody does Halloween like the Big Kahuna. Nobody. Yeah, I mean, nobody gets hee-haw anymore. But, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone. That's what I should have said for being stood up tonight. Welcome to 2020. I'm Hugh Downs, and this is 2020. Boy, whew, that's a blast from the past. But don't forget, tune in to Big Kahuna. Check out Clint Powell during the break podcast. Check him out tomorrow with Lookouts President Rich Mazingo, 8 o'clock. I think it's on the lake. Marketing Mix Radio, all things marketing and sales and all that stuff. Mine is just fun, bullshit, and my opportunity to rant and rave. Thank you, Kim. And don't forget, I saw that picture earlier today. Kip looked too much like Frank Zappa in that picture. And there's a documentary that's coming out Thanksgiving weekend. If anybody knows who Frank Zappa is, you may want to check out this documentary. I know I will. And the director of said documentary is Alex Winter, the same Alex Winter from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So check it out. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. Not a whole lot else going to kick back, watch some television, may even put on a pot of coffee. I don't know. But we will be back Monday night at 7 o'clock, the day before the election. The Undertaker. Okay. But could he roll his eyes all the way back like Calloway did? Or does, or whatever. But, and then Monday night, 7 o'clock, Tuesday night, a short but special Election Day edition where I'm going to reveal who I voted for. And we may have special guests if he can pull it off. One of my go-to political guys, Rusty Parkhill from Scenic City Sports. And don't forget to tune them in. Everybody, have a great Saturday night. Don't forget to set your clocks back because it's going to be Benny Hinn Day tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, be kind to each other. See you Monday night.
That's all, folks.